13 stolen bases. And it's two.
Incredibly players knew what they were doing, knew what they were.
Pitch, and believe it or not, Sanchez. One of those was a hairline fracture
Early on in the season.
And with that swing there, he showed how quick his hands. Santiago Espinal.
It's an hour. What happened? So when Toronto,
He slides. And this is Dalton rushing.
good signs already.
To fire. The game and suspend.
Mad at Sanchi. We're mad at Aaron. Found a last year. They're out here in surprise tonight. Infield, you want to get familiar with
Used to each other in the spring.
outs, free 90 feet. So
if you look, not only play all over the
a big way. Look where it starts. I mean, that still started with a ball out of hand, and I will.
This was the 70s and the 80s.
Days anymore. Watch out. Look out.
Well, there's a lot. And Sawinski makes a. They get that corrected. A nice bounce and throws him past that so that Joel has his own. All right.
For March 27th. I know what you said the first. Even Hosmer wasn't in the big leagues yet.
You know, the things that we worked on this offseason, a really good spot. You know, it's been there in my career. Helped me with is just I got one more start that I need to, you know.
Booth, all right.
Joel, you got to make sure you're
.com/ short on
any reps over there.
Haas has a leadoff double. And it's not just the talent of the position.
And at the end of the day, over the last 2 to 3 advance.
That was a good swing, and well, comes in to make the play 2 down. So
isn't hitting a fastball that sinks zone. Instead of
Spinall, who's very similar to John.
Marte a lot when he was in New York, and I was communicating well and stuff. I think that's important. And
you're out there defending all that go every single day for that.
yeah, I mean, you know how it felt really good to go a little bit more so you can see the hitter.
Kind of game planning or anything, but
Using it only when you can put yourself.
Hitter steps in as we visit with 2 challenges. I mean, that's
Fastball or whatever, you know, so.
Called upon, and you're starting to play every single point in time of the season. You're only facing a stretch.
Put stuff figured out.
In Arizona, it's going to be once the opposite. And just thinking, please, on the monitor, it sure looked like a nap. When we were talking, base percentage was 90 points high.
Numbers are now taking it.
His first time up.
Take Collins, for instance, the lower on base percentage, and maybe
They're free agents.
I'm going to say, okay, I want it. So if we're seeing having success off of Sasaki.
And then 3 years ago,
And up to about 96, that release point. Good express at that point in time. It's just.
and
So that's a tough right on right.
here in the booth, the farther you get away from the dirt, double to left with 2 strikes.
Upset, trying to talk to both of them as much as.
The atmosphere,
That, you know, it was so much fun. But
trumpets.
how do you describe all
Man, just from thinking of stage like that, and he's like
superstars, many of whom you know?
on baseball, and I'm just really
Watching at home, and we can kind of see a healthy bullpen and having Luke.
and we feel like.
Looking forward to your second season.
All right, thank you.
Chemistry, light,
But he chose to be here, which is pretty cool.
coming out of the pen.
Put me
Spring
to the
training
test,
game.
spring training, get me ready, right? It's because he's releasing it 7
To the spring training to get cool down, ramp it back up again, taken out of an inning so that they
game, but at the end of the day, right
for one.
here after, I'm sorry, my second, usually we're going to break for season, not all getting ready differently for the season.
And a guy just, there's that. It's 3-2 in the bottom of the 4th.
That is theme of the night.
On Gavin Cross. So anyway, just in the first week of the regular
The
season.
cage, get back out there for the game. So challenging.
But today, these guys show up in their
A lot of points.
take it all by himself. So
Remember you many years with the Detroit Tigers in the WBC at this moment as we speak.
They're in the cage every morning before they took off.
One of those defensive plays, and here we were
Some other guys and getting big hits for us here. A bit more, I'd have had a little bit more homers, but
They're all playing well. Oh,
second base to begin the bottom of the fifth inning.
BC, and he rose the, but for Kaggs, that was his first.
Vinny, you see Vinny in the dugout with him.
Help him go through some growing pains at all young.
Earlier today, as great as
1,000 people. And we mentioned he's right. Just get me there. But as a hitter, you
BBC, he's 95, 96.
I love it.
and now we know who's
Humble guy and a team guy, and but it's quite the honor.
It was awesome. That's what fresh and ready to go. And he's at the point.
Guys that filled in did a tremendous job. Venus award winner.
Jury puts the ball in play.
But it's also reflective of where we expect that was your future. Right now, we
October, and these players know now, never the same as the same roster you broke camp.
know where they stand, and they all.
His release point get to home.
It goes up and in towards this lefty.
100%.
It's their biggest battle.
It's an organization. Charging in from third, so that is
And here's a guy that's been around a little bit. But
Sam over here, we want to keep him on his toes.
gone. Cole Reagans was telling us, look, I had ramped down, ramping up to.
In the game here wasn't as crisp, but
What did you see from Cole when he came?
it does. It does. You got to keep the grader. He went over to the White Sox, but
well, as we talked about the pitching when given an opportunity to, and that'll get crossed.
So lucky to not only play players, be a sponge. So
Go back to and say, man, I remember.
and I was going to high A do it, but just the gesture right there. But here at the big leagues, you understand.
Has beaten the USA against any team that bases
Yeah.
and throwing guys out.
But in all seriousness, it's like, man, I'm getting sent down. Perez, congrats, Nino. You continue.
A player when they get completely different kind of frustration.
A
Small
lot of eyes. Good for him.
on the left side of the infield. We'll see
The conversation around the world is the Royals went home this offseason and said, if
by Newman, and he's going to throw out, and he is on for the first time.
inning and we're in that big spot, okay, you want to get the first out of the way early.
Rojas will get Wilson to third.
Early.
So yeah, used that for inspiration last year. Picks up Drury and drive. That will be caught. Right.
And everyone too. How about because this was a pretty stacked bullpen last year.
I mean, we got a great group of guys.
I mean, so comfortable in those high leverage
Like I said, the group of guys we had.
mates with him before too. What do you remember? I knew that he would enjoy hearing that one because that is John Schreiber. I knew it.
So Dodgers. Here. The plate and out.
In the spring training game, some of these hands, because I don't want you to get that ball out in front.
Batting for the first time.
Or either.
The Mount Rushmore series between the Royals.
This season.
And for whatever reason,
He looks good in that costume, that's for sure. Town connections.
been great. WBC MVP.
Classic. Michael
The WBC MVP.
continue to be unfazed as he's been.
At the end of March, you want to be in Atlanta.
We got every bit of that ball.
Games with them.
So it wasn't me, that's for sure. Because if it was, and he's Jack Skewis confidence in your coaching staff.
And Tresh, that's a good.
If it's first base coach with a stopwatch in his back pocket, got to find the edge any way you can. To blame for me right now because that's 2 looks. So Russ, if it's a 1-5 or a 1-4
Time.
in Gardner. So if
Can
we go to Anaheim, we got Weaver game 1 stealing. So we were just to give Kane 1 pitch to steal.
Ports that had a big impact and stood out. Number 1 in field.
Is we are prepared and ready. and to see that all come to fruition, I don't want to have to decide. So it was a great part. Great point.
Holbert is underneath it. Double play here. And in the 9th inning.
The field, but the scouts.
Because the first baseman can't throw to the base at replay several times. I think you're with the infield in.
When you have people like Z, so cool to hear stories like that.
Or you have no for because he's always somewhere where we with you again and telling these stories. So they're pouring it on. Get young guys in there.
Everybody, what you can do.
Yep, and sometimes
Don't know if Jordan Hicks made the team out of spring.
Be home to face the Minnesota.
Could not have had a better
City Royals. And Gentry's on to begin the bad season.
September, you realize, man, understand how much time there is. We can slow go out there and play our game.
More games.
Absolutely. Past couple days, it gave us the ability.
By the opening day, right? And that's going to be
And that's huge. Not every organization has. Because 13 different guys to be went home this offseason and said, if I'm going to play 162 games, I need.
And Urseg with a runner at third gets us because the first baseman can't throw to the bases. Now this was game 4, so it happened the next in the replay several times. I think you're safe even if he makes a good